you are literally trying the best that you can with your pets, but you're just like, why isn't the skin issues resolving? Why isn't the diarrhea going away? You're going back and forth to the vet. You're trying all the drugs. You probably even have a supplement graveyard because you hear about a supplement and you're like, that worked for them. That must work for my animal. And you're frustrated, you're tired, you're overwhelmed, which is trying all these things. And maybe it works for a little bit, but then you're right back to where you started. Or maybe your pet's even worse with their allergies, their gut health problems. And you're like, I don't know what to do. And here's the problem is that you are trying your best. And thank you for being your pet's advocate and wanting to do the best for them. However, you're stuck in that broken conventional medical system where we're just trying all the same things, right? That's where the same drugs, the same tests are being done, hoping that something different happens from it and where we see improvement. Now, there's a big underlying factor when you're dealing with a pet that has gut health or skin issues. So listen up because this could be you. There's an underlying issue with the gut that is commonly missed that we need to address. And that's where I take pet parents when I partner with them to make sure we uncover, is there something going on in the gut that's inhibiting your pet from actually healing and from you experiencing that relief of, wow, we've actually treated the problem at the root cause level. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I'm Dr. Katie Woodley, holistic veterinarian and founder of The Natural Pet Doctor. I'm on a mission to help empower pet parents to feel confident, to uncover and heal these root causes that keep so many pet parents and maybe yourself stuck. I support pet parents through our online blueprint program so you can access holistic vet support and care and guidance and education no matter where you're at in the world. So if you'd like to learn more about our program and see if it will help you and get you unstuck and help uncover some of these root cause issues, make sure to send us a message down below, comment help so we can reach out to you. Now, in this video, you're going to learn about a common issue that so many pet parents get stuck because they don't know it's keeping their pets sick. It's keeping them stuck with these gut health problems, with allergies, and all sorts of other conditions. And it comes down to what's going on in the gut with the microbiome. So in this video, I'm going to go through what is dysbiosis, how does it actually happen, what can it look like as a symptom for your pet, and then I'm going to introduce you into a concept that we use in our Healthy Holistic Pet for Life Blueprint program of how we can actually heal it, reverse it, and move forward with optimal health. So I hope you enjoy this small clip from our Healthy Holistic Pet for Life Blueprint program. The microbiome is made up of trillions of microorganisms, and we depend on this vast army, this ecosystem to stay alive. This microbiome is this ecosystem that breaks down food to release energy and produces vitamins, essential amino acids, and a wide variety of useful substances like hormones and neurotransmitters. A highly diverse microbiome ecosystem is a factor that supports stability, resistance, and resilience of the microbial community that contributes to health and reduces the incidence of microbial pathogens, so bad bacteria, but also other what seem like unrelated health conditions from occurring. So what affects gut health? Maybe your pet's had a poor start to life. They're on chronic medications. They may be receiving unfiltered chlorinated or fluorinated water. They may be experiencing food intolerances, lack of enzymes. They may be on acid blocking medications or have zinc deficiency. They may have been over-vaccinated. There could be chronic stress, environmental toxins, poor nutrition, and parasites are just a few of the reasons that gut health might be off. Now, I want you to think about your pets and if they have some of these unhealthy gut signs. And if your pet has some of these symptoms, there may be some component of dysbiosis present. So weight loss, dull hair coat, autoimmune diseases, allergies, sensitive GI tract, dental disease, bad breath, even with clean teeth, inflammation, ear infections, anal gland issues, anxiety, thyroid issues, behavior issues, and also cancer. Now, changes in the microbiome and disease states are what we call dysbiosis. And the concept of dysbiosis is constantly evolving and includes changes in the microbiome diversity or the structure and even functional changes. So what that means is altered production of those bacterial metabolites or those post-metabolites that we talked about. So short chain fatty acids, your hormones, your neurotransmitters. So essentially, the bad bacteria are outnumbering the good bacteria, and the diversity is off in a bad way. And we just talked a little bit about what leads to dysbiosis, and many diseases, systemic or localized, are associated with this condition. And once again, this is the condition where there's changes in that composition of the gut microbiome that's impacting its ability to function well. And a lot of times that increase in abundance of, say, like the bacterial family Enterobacteriaceae could be a hallmark of dysbiosis. If we have the Fusobacterium, there's not enough of them, that could be a hallmark of dysbiosis. And it can be caused by lots of different things: poor diet, antibiotics, steroids, vaccines, stress, flea and tick products, other drugs, environmental toxins, heavy metals. And what happens if we don't address the dysbiosis, if we don't address the microbiome not being in a good way, it can actually lead to a syndrome called leaky gut syndrome. Now, this is leaky gut syndrome. The gut bacteria are out of balance. The environment of the GI tract becomes unstable, and it alters the process of digestion. That intestinal mucosa, remember that one layer thick mucosa, becomes inflamed and begins to leak those larger, partially digested substances from food particles into the bloodstream. And this can happen when the mucus lining shrinks and thins. That's where that immune system sits, and it leads to injury and inflammation. And so it occurs when there's that malfunction of the tight junction epithelial cells. So these are the skin lining cells that are located in the gut. And normally these tight junctions prevent the contents of intestines from passing through and getting into the bloodstream. But when they're not functioning properly, when they're inflamed, it can allow toxins and antigens, so those things that are not self, that shouldn't be getting through, and bacteria to pass through that we don't want to pass through. So that's what leaky gut syndrome is. And leaky gut syndrome has been blamed for a variety of symptoms and illnesses, including food allergies, hot spots, skin irritations, yeast infections, diarrhea, constipation, inflammatory bowel disease, autoimmune disorders, joint pain, imbalances involving the liver, pancreas, thyroid problems, weight gain, diabetes, slow metabolism, and just low energy. And when we start shifting our mindset and looking at the gut versus looking at the symptoms of all of those diseases, and that don't seem related to gut health, that's where we can address the true changes that need to happen in your pets and heal them, or hopefully this is where you're at, prevent disease from occurring in the first place, because we're well aware that optimizing the microbiome and keeping it happy and healthy will help prevent this from occurring. Now, once again, you've seen this slide before. These are the main factors influencing the cat and the dog gut microbiota. As our pets age, we can see issues as they move into adulthood, as they move into becoming a senior. The diets that they on will influence them dramatically. The intestinal diseases, if there's parasites, and also our interplay with our pets. And if we have poor gut health, we can actually pass that on to our pets. Now, we have to look at pet food ingredients. And so we know then what we need to be avoiding if we understand what may be going into our pets through diet, through their food, through their treats. And one of the things that's a huge issue with
humans, with pets, that is a big problem in this world, is glyphosate. And it's an herbicide that's also an antibiotic. And glyphosate, unfortunately, is found in nearly all dog foods that contain grains or legumes. And the ingredients with the highest glyphosate content are going to include non-organic oats, wheat, soy, potatoes, and legumes. So those are things like chickpeas, peas, lentils, beans, and peanuts. And glyphosate is found in most grains. So you want to make sure you're choosing organic foods to reduce the risk of them being contaminated by glyphosate. And here's the thing, even the non-GMO foods have been shown to have glyphosate in them because those are, if they're not organic, they are sprayed at the end of harvest to fasten harvesting. So they tend to have a higher concentration of glyphosate in them. So something to be aware of. Now, lectins are proteins in plants that act as a defense mechanism against predators. So lectins attack the mucosal lining of the gut and cause inflammation and leaky gut. So allowing bacteria, food, toxins to pass through into the bloodstream. So beans, peas, soybeans, lentils, and other legumes have the highest lectin content of any food group, as do members of the nightshade family. So like peppers, potatoes, tomatoes. But lectin can also be found in most grains with the exception of sorghum and millet. And many pets are gluten sensitive, especially cats. Cats, there's no need for them to be ingesting gluten. But when we have gluten sensitive dogs eat foods with gluten, what happens is the small intestine produces zonulin, and that's the chemical that signals those tight junctions of the intestinal wall lining to open up, creating permeability, hence we get leaky gut. Mycotoxins are another cancer-causing mold that grow on grains, legumes, your corn, and they're found in many pet foods. Unfortunately, Perrine has even called them the unavoidable contaminant, and they have been shown to increase intestinal permeability alongside causing other inflammatory health conditions. And then dairy. Most pets don't produce the enzyme lactase, which is needed to digest lactose in dairy products. Whey and casein are proteins in milk that can also cause gut inflammation. And so using things like sheep and goat milk, they have a different type of casein and a different type of milk protein, which make them easier for your pets to digest. So if you want to integrate in one of those dairy products, I would definitely say go with goat and sheep milk. But if your pet's lactose intolerance, they're still high in lactose, but they're going to tolerate it a little bit better. Now, other causes of dysbiosis we're going to discuss throughout the remaining modules are things like stress. And what are environmental toxins doing to the microbiome? We've already discussed obesity and shown you how obesity, those fat cells don't just sit there and can actually release inflammation and cause that neuroinflammation in the body. We know there's that direct connection with the vagus nerve from the brain down to the large intestine that will be affecting the microbiome. We also know that vaccines are going to disrupt the immune system, which is directly connected. 70 to 80% of the immune system is in the gut lining. And if your pet's on medications, we know that that can affect the microbiome. We discussed non-steroidals for treating osteoarthritis and how you can use protectant supplements to help support and reduce the inflammation that those can cause if your pet needs to be on something. And then parasites can disrupt the microbiome too, leading to dysbiosis. So Giardia, other intestinal parasites like tapeworms and roundworms and hookworms are of course going to upset the population. Now, one of the problems that we see in our pets today is low stomach acid. And many pets have too low of stomach acid to properly digest their food. We need low stomach acid to activate the enzyme pepsin, which breaks down and starts digesting your proteins in the stomach, forming that chyme that then goes into the large or the small intestine. And what happens is if they're not digesting their food properly, we're already starting to create dysbiosis because the food is reaching the small intestine and the large intestine in an appropriate way. We can see things like bilious vomiting. So if you have pets that go for too long without eating and they're vomiting up bile, also antacids and proton pump inhibitors, usually it's because they have too low a stomach acid. But what happens is we put these pets on antacids, And the chronic usage of these medications has been shown to cause a vitamin B12 deficiency, which then creates even more issues. So if you're seeing symptoms like burping and bloating and constipation, gas after eating, food sensitivities, your pet may actually have a low stomach acid. And using some of the supplements and the food therapy options we're going to be discussing in the next few videos are going to help alleviate and resolve that low stomach acid issue that's creating that dysbiosis. We also know that dysbiosis definitely leads to behavior issues in our dogs and our cats. And so that poor gut health is linked directly to emotional behavior problems. This is where if you have a pet that has a lot of anxiety, aggression issues, super anxious, super reactive, you have to start looking at the gut health. So if you're seeing that aggressive behavior, spinning, pacing, tail chasing, biting, self-mutilation, eating dirt, eating feces, that comes back down to what is going on in the gut itself. And there's numerous studies. One of them was by Kirchhoff, showing that the gut microbiome correlates with aggression in a small population of rescue dogs. And they were able to show the differences in the gut bacteria and how it related to the behaviors that they were showing. Now, the biggest thing with dysbiosis, it's a huge problem. And this is just a brief overview of what dysbiosis is, leaky gut, because most health conditions come back down to that. And most of us have some degree of leaky gut going on, humans and our pets. But when we go back to the basics and we start learning about why does it start? How is it created? But most importantly, based on that, how can we fix it? We go back to this principle called the 4 R's, where we can remove from the diet and the gut inflammatory ingredients, parasites, bacteria. We can replace the bad stuff with the good stuff. We can re-inoculate that bacteria based on what's happening, and we can repair that gut lining. And when we do this and we follow this protocol, we can heal the body because we're healing the gut. We're resolving that dysbiosis. So you're going to learn a lot of tools and tactics that are going to help you start implementing these 4 R's into your dogs and your cats' lives to help heal that dysbiosis and help them feel much better and live a long and vibrant life, which is why we're all here.
Thanks so much for watching that short clip from our Healthy Holistic Pet for Life Blueprint. I hope it kind of uncovered or started to reveal some aha moments for you of why you might be stuck with your dog and cat's gut health issues, skin issues like allergies and itchiness and ear infections, hot spots, diarrhea, constipation, vomiting. They can all come down to dysbiosis in the gut where things are off. And as you've now learned, there's a lot of different causes that can lead to dysbiosis and that imbalance in the gut microbiome. So if you're ready for the next level and you're like, I am still frustrated, Dr. Katie, I don't know where to start. Once again, drop the comment help down below in the comments so we can reach out to you and see if maybe this program would be a huge help for getting the support, helping you feel confident, empowered alongside me to be your partner and making sure that we're uncovering these things like dysbiosis that might be keeping you stuck versus just trying all the supplements, all the medications, all the same tests and ending up at the same frustrating spot that you're currently in. Let's unlock true healing, and we can do that together. And if our program's not a fit, don't worry. We have other resources and we can guide you, and we're more than happy to share some of those so that way you can help your pets feel much better. Because unfortunately, I know personally what it's like to have sick pets, and it's really, really hard and difficult when you don't see that path forward. So let us help guide you to that path moving forward, and let us help be the light to uncover these things that are just blind spots for you. You're doing your best. You're doing all that you can, and I see you. So just let us know what you're having trouble with down in the comment section, and make sure to check out our additional resources for supporting gut health, whether it's through our Healthy Holistic Pet for Life Blueprint program, or if it's with some of our other free resources at thenaturalpetdoctor.com. And I look forward to seeing you all in our next video. If you found this helpful, it would mean the world to me if you would like, follow, and subscribe to our channel. It also helps spread the word to other pet parents across the world to help their pets thrive naturally. I'll see you later.